Ohio, it's been a minute. I've kind of missed vlogging. I mean, I'm still recording stuff here and there, but like I recorded a lot more before. It was a hobby, it was a habit. So now that hobby habit is like kind of fading a little bit, you know? And I'm not editing every single day like before. Like before I was editing every single day. Like I'll be going to bed at 1 in the morning, 2 in the morning because I was editing so much. But I found a way around that finally since I work at night now. So I was editing in the morning. So I wake up, do 2 hours editing. Yeah, so I miss vlogging, you know? For me, it was a great exercise and a great challenge. I'm still kind of doing it, it's just not the same. Anyways, today we're going to talk about my first time in Japan. So, my first time in Japan, anyway, let's talk about the plane. We're on the plane, we land, I look down, and I don't know what I expected, you know? Only thing I've seen is like ninja movies, samurai movies, like The Last Samurai, you know, like Tom Cruise, a lot of people throwing ninja stars at each other, anime, that movie, The Geisha, that was a really good movie. But that was like Osaka back in like a long time ago, you know. So I had no idea what to expect. I just assumed there was buildings. I didn't know what they looked like, you know. So when he landed, I wasn't displeased. I was just like, more like just taking it in. We went to the countryside of Kyushu, so where I went for the last video for this last New Year's is where I went for the very first time. We stayed at Yukiko's mom's house for 1 month, and it was rain season the whole time. I didn't even know they had rain season. I didn't know it could rain for a month straight. That was crazy. You know, so I was cooped up and stuck in the house for the first week. And you see me out the window, my head, a little slow zoom, you know, like, is this gonna continue forever? Eventually, I'm not a very patient person, so I'm like, I'm gonna go adventure by myself. Yukiko and her mom were making they were dealing with the wedding stuff. Okay, I did here and there, but for the most part, so we had a wedding planner, and it was in this very fancy building. Dude, we had to go, and I would have to go try on suits and stuff like that. It's like a whole other video, but you know, if you're the bride, you get to wear up to 3 dresses if you want. Guys too, you can change it to like a traditional suit, and you can have like, you know, the traditional kimono, stuff like that. So we had to do a lot of that stuff going on. So, but there were these days where it was just nothing. It was just me alone, and like for all day in this mysterious place. So I was like, I'm gonna go adventure. The first day I went to a bread shop, and this bread shop reminded me of Canada over in Vancouver. If you go to like Vancouver, Canada, in the malls, they have like this fancy bread, kind of stuff you would imagine, I guess, in Italy or France or something like that. So Japan had that too, so I was very excited. Also, they had some strange breads I've never seen before. So I was just, yeah, on this trip I gained probably 5 pounds because of sushi and the bread, and mainly sushi because I love sushi. Anyways, so yeah, I found the bread shop. I was pretty excited about that. So when Kiko came back, I was out telling her about it, and she's like, yeah, okay. Because of course she's been there. She's grown up in this area for like most of her life, so she's like, whatever. For me, it's like, do you see that? You see that? She was probably annoyed, you know. I have no idea, but I was pretty in awe about some of the things. Anyways, the next day, I found Book Off. Book Off, Hard Off, that place. Book Off is like, you know, a place where you can get video games for cheap. It's a used store for games, anime, manga, all that stuff. So I started getting actually I grabbed a few kids books in hiragana and stuff like that, and I grabbed a few manga books just for the art because I like to draw. At this point in my life, I drew a lot more. Like right now, currently, I don't draw a lot much. I used to draw like up to 2 hours a day, you know, and when I was drawing a lot, we're talking 8 hours a day. Every single day. I had stacks of drawing like this high. Anyways, so yeah, I found the bookshop, so I was pretty excited. I was going there every single time I could. So I'd wake up morning, bread shop, bookshop. Then from there I found the Shrine. Shrine is like this beautiful place. Yeah, it's actually, again, in my New Year's video, that place I'm walking around with Yukiko, that's the thing I saw. That it was a long walk to get there, but I'd go there. Then there was like this, it's called a pocket pizza place. So it's like they take a whole pizza and they wrap it into a big pocket, right? Like a huge calzone, like this big. And yeah, I actually saw the place. I never actually got a chance to go there, but when I first saw it, I was like, I want to go there, you know? And I explored Japanese supermarkets for the first time. That was great. And they had like this toy store with all the like Japanese toys you can ever imagine. This is the first time I've ever even heard of Kamen Rider. I was like, what is Kamen Rider? Yukiko's like, it's like a Power Ranger basically, but he drives a motorcycle, and I guess he's been around almost as long as Ultraman. I don't know if you guys know who Ultraman is. The only reason I know who Ultraman is because they had Ultraman at Nights in America a long time ago, and I watched it when I was bored. This is like before Adult Swim crap. Adult Swim is awesome. I wish they had it here. Anyways, yeah, so there's a toy store. Then also, this is the first time I was ever introduced to pachinko, right? I was like, what is pachinko? And I guess it's Korean gambling system. It's really, really popular in Japan. I mean, I never actually did it myself. I'm not a gambler. But, like, literally I'd be walking through this old style mall, and there's this pachinko shop. And it was like maybe 5, 6 in the morning. And there's people like standing outside, their face like pressed against the glass, just waiting for pachinko. I'm sitting there like, wow. Old ladies just like, but I feel like it's one of those commercials where it's like, open, 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 you know? All this for pachinko. Like, they love their pachinko here. Okay, and also, like I said, since we're setting up for this wedding, I found Umitown Mall. It's a huge mall in this particular area. So Umitown, you'll find all over Kyushu, but like where I'm at in Osaka now, there's like no Umitowns here. So I guess it's like just down that way. Anyways, this huge mall is where I got my haircut for the wedding. The guy, so Yukiko's going to this place. There was a guy there, and he's like, I'd love to cut your husband's hair, you know, because there's no colored people like me, like in that area at all, period. In fact, I don't think there's any foreigners besides me. Like, when I'm there, I'm like literally the only foreigner there. Okay, anyways, he's like, I want to cut your hair for the wedding. And then he's just like, what kind of anime and manga do you like? I was just like, I named some off and stuff. Finally, he came upon like Final Fantasy. He's like, I will give you the movie Final Fantasy if you let me cut your hair. And I was like, okay, cool. It's another thing to do, right? So I was watching Final Fantasy at that time, but he gave me the movie for free completely. And this movie is probably worth 25, 50 bucks. And then he cut my hair, and he charged me for that, of course. But yeah, still, most people don't get free movies with their haircut. So that was really cool. Yeah. Anyways, like the last few weeks, you know, like, of course there's the big old wedding and stuff, meeting your family in between times. But, you know, during the last few days, you know, there was kind of nothing. A lot of nothingness. So I'd be sitting there and, like, again, nothing. Just rain. This was an inside wedding, by the way. Sorry, I gotta backtrack just a bit, okay? Before we came to Japan, Yukiko one morning, I woke up, she was like vacuuming stuff, right? Usually when she's vacuuming, I'm pretty like, whew. But when she's doing dishes, when she's getting really angry at me, and this was a lot, she'd be doing dishes, right? So when I woke up and she's doing dishes, I was like, ugh. So, you know, we had a back door, so I could just kind of walk out the back door. She'll never know. Come back an hour later. Or at night when she's doing dishes, like, all right, honey, I'm going to the mall. I'll be back when you're asleep and maybe not angry. Anyways, so I wake up and she comes in with this poster board she made, and it had on one side katakana, on the other side hiragana. She's just like, you're gonna learn this. I was like, okay. She gave it to me, and I sat there and I counted all the characters. I think there's like 62 characters, right? Not just for one set, and you flip it around to 62 more, and she's like, you're gonna learn this. I'm just like, she's like, this is like the ABC of Japan. I was just like, are you crazy? And I'm not joking, that was like my reaction. It was like, are you crazy? You know how many characters are here? There's like 120 something or more characters. How am I gonna learn this? I was like, you to teach me this? She's like, I'll teach you. Like a little by little, they say dan, little by little every day. And I was like, oh, okay. If you're gonna teach me, I will try. So from that day forth, I never used it. I learned 0 from that board. Anyways, and now back to my first trip. This is also the trip I got, you know, we had our wedding and stuff. Yeah, so I was bored one day, and I took those kids' books, and I started trying to learn the hiragana. And it was going very painfully, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna get some actual learning books. I went back, got 2 learning books, one for Hiragana system, one for katakana. And these books, they just show you like the character, how to like the stroke order of the character, and that's all. And you write them maybe like 9 times each. So I did 1 page, and I was like, okay, I don't think I remember that at all. Let me write it a little bit more. So I did like 50 times. I was like, I still don't remember. I was like, let me write it 100 times. So I did 100. I was like, let's just do 1,000. So I did like 1,000. So this like 2 pages is filled with 1,000 of just right? So I was like, I remember. After 1,000 times, I remembered very clearly. Next page, did 1,000 more for the next letter. So what was there, like 62 characters just for hiragana? So yeah, so that was 62,000 writing. That took 1 hour. So 62,000 times I wrote it. I'm not joking. I'm not exaggerating at all. Yukiko watched me. Actually, she came back when I was doing it. I showed her, and I'm sitting there like, look what I did, like a little kid. Look what I did. And she's just kind of like, yeah, okay. She's like, how long have you been in this house? Let me open this window. Have you been drinking? I was just a little. Okay, so I finished hiragana in 1 hour. So I was like, okay, I'm feeling pretty happy, a little Genki. My Genki power was like at its maximum. If you had like a Dragon Ball Scouter on it, it'd be like, oh my god, look at this Genki power. It'd probably just break off, and I'd be like, Kamehameha. Anyways, let's move forward. So I did katakana the same exact way. So it took me 2 hours to learn hiragana and katakana. So, and like I said, 62,000 times, that's a long time. So you just keep going till your hands bleed, and you should be fine. If you can remember it faster than me, then good for you, that's great. But if you really, honestly, if it's hard to learn it for you, it only takes like 2 weeks to learn it, honestly. If you're gonna do it at a normal rate, you can just write it like maybe 50 times a day or something like that, or 10 times a day, whatever it takes. Average, it takes people maybe 2 weeks to a month to learn at a slower pace. I was just that crazy and that bored. Anyways, yeah, so we said our goodbyes, and I was really sad about sushi the most, so I had to say bye to sushi. I was like, bye sushi, and sushi's like, no, grab my leg. But that was my first trip to Japan, along with like that story I told you about Yukiko's mom, and she's just like all like, yeah, that scary story. That was a scary story. It was like a ghost story, but no ghost. Anyways, that's it for this video. I will be making another video at some point. It's not gonna be like 10 years from it down, but it's, like I said, I'm not daily no more, but I do miss you guys. Thanks for watching. Peace.